Today we're going to be recapping an English crime and comedy film titled Cruella, released in the year 2021. The story begins in the 60s when a baby girl, called Estella, is born with her hair half black and half white. She has a passion for designing like no other, which her mother Catherine recognizes early on, but Estella's feisty and fiery side sometimes gets the better of her. Thus Catherine calls her Cruella when she gets like that. It's Estella's first day of school and her mother reassures her that she belongs here just as much as anyone else, and makes her promise not to let Cruella get the better of her. Once inside, she tries making friends with two boys, however they just mock her, but she manages to make one friend called Anita, and a dog she names Buddy that she found in the trash. Over her time at the private school, she gets into multiple altercations which inevitably leads to her expulsion. After getting expelled, it leaves them both in a hard spot, so Catherine says they're driving to ask for a little help from a friend to get back on their feet. When they arrive at their destination, Estella is told to lie low and wait in the car, much to her annoyance. However, after seeing an amazing gown, she just can't help herself and exits the vehicle along with Buddy to get a closer look. She gains access to the Grand Hall, hiding under a service trolley. The whole scenery astounds her and for the first time she feels like she belongs. However, she is soon exposed when chasing after Buddy, and in turn she gets caught by a man called John, who she manages to eventually escape after Buddy bites his leg. 3 vicious Dalmatians are then set on Estella and Buddy, however they manage to evade them too. When outside, Estella notices her mother talking to the owner, called Baroness von Hellman, who is hosting the gala. Suddenly the 3 Dalmatians come out of nowhere, but to Estella's surprise they jump right over her and head for Catherine. Catherine is tragically shoved over the cliff by one of the Dalmatians and falls to her death. Estella blames herself for what happened and runs her fastest to get away from the scene. The Dalmatians find the precious necklace Estella accidentally dropped. Meanwhile, Estella manages to make her escape from the manor. She ends up in a park where she realizes that she lost her invaluable necklace, making her distraught. The following day, Estella wakes up to find a couple of young pickpocketers, called Horace and Jasper. They seem intrigued by Estella, who notices they have a dog too, called Wink. Then suddenly, a police officer appears and blows his whistle, shouting at them to stop. The 3 of them flee the area as fast as they can. Estella surprisingly manages to keep up with the boys despite being unfamiliar with the area. She tails Jasper and Horace to their secret hideout, just managing to lose the cop. When she arrives, Horace is reluctant to let her stay at first. However, Jasper refuses to deny Estella, stating that they could use a girl to look innocent and be a distraction. Estella goes to dye her hair when we transition 10+ years into the future. We see the 3 doing multiple jobs, displaying their trickery and different ways of thieving. Estella designed fabulous disguises that aids them on their endeavors. They consider themselves a family. However, when Estella lays in bed at night, she can't help but feel like something is missing. The next morning, Estella is woken up to a happy birthday chant. Jasper surprises Estella with an entry-level offer of employment from Liberty of London, the most fashionable department store in the city. She is astounded to say the least and asks how they managed to pull this off, to which Jasper replies he just pulled a few strings. Excited to start her promising new job, Estella arrives with high hopes. However, it is revealed that her job is working as nothing but a cleaner. She consistently brings up her other qualities to the boss, implying that she can be of more use designing. However, the boss brushes her off every time, and when she comes into his office to present her value once again, he sternly asks, "Why are you talking and not cleaning?" From that moment on, Estella becomes frustrated and careless as she feels undervalued. When everyone goes home that night, she even gets drunk and makes her own display at the front of the store. After waking up and realizing what she had done, Estella panics, thinking she is going to be fired for sure, which is semi-true. Her stuck-up boss fires her. However, the Baroness happens to be present and says that the display was the most artistic thing she's seen around here in a long time, and offers Estella a job at her company, which is a huge deal. Working for the Baroness is painful to say the least. However, Estella learns to get on with it. After her shift, she visits a store where she meets the owner, called Artie, who specializes in fashion himself, and thus they become acquaintances, but we will see him again a little bit later. As time passes, Estella becomes one of the Baroness's top designers, and even becomes the Baroness's personal dress designer for her galas. While working for her, she gets a glimpse of the safe where her most valuable items are kept. After work, Estella takes some time to reminisce on her mother, saying that she's trying her best to be the Estella she wanted her to be. The following day at work, Estella notices something on the Baroness's neck, which turns out to be the same necklace she accidentally dropped at the manor all those years ago when her mom Catherine was killed. Estella asks about it, and the Baroness explains how Catherine worked for her and describes the scene of when she died. However, it's nothing how Estella remembers it. As Estella begins to realize that the woman she's been working for this whole time is the same woman that was on the cliff that day with her mother, she begins to dwell on things. Jasper and Horace comfort her like the great friends they are. Estella then decides to come up with a plan to steal the necklace back from the Baroness, which Jasper and Horace happily agree to aid her with. The next week, Estella spends her time scouting the facility, taking note of all the security measures in place, while still remaining completely unsuspicious. Her plan is to disable the security system, bypass the camera, open the safe and steal the necklace, all during the biggest party of the season called the Black and White Ball. Horace and Jasper use a pest control disguise to gain access to the gala, while Estella reveals herself as Cruella in an extravagant fashion, stealing all the attention away from the Baroness, who sends her bodyguards after her. However, Cruella manages to fend them off in a classy manner, surprisingly impressing the Baroness, who becomes intrigued by Cruella. She invites her to sit down and talk, but after a while decides to have her arrested. However, just at that moment, Jasper shows up with a plate of rats, shocking the Baroness. Cruella swiftly snatches the necklace without alerting anyone and hands it to Buddy. After the Baroness notices Buddy with the necklace, she brings out a special whistle which makes her dogs go after whoever she commands. And at that moment, Estella has a flashback of the night her mother died, realizing that the Baroness in fact used the whistle to kill her mother, so her death wasn't actually her fault after all. While in a state of shock, Jasper drags her away. Meanwhile, one of the Baroness's Dalmatians swallows the necklace. Outside, the gang's pest control van had been towed, leaving them without a getaway vehicle. However, Cruella hotwires a car and picks up Jasper and Horace. She drives recklessly as she's distraught after finding out the Baroness took her mother's life. The following morning, Estella decides to embrace her dark side and lets Cruella take over completely. She tells Horace and Jasper that they're going to steal the Baroness's dogs, and wait till it comes out the other side of the one who swallowed it. Cruella visits Anita, who now works as media and was also at the Black and White Gala. She agrees to help Cruella tell everyone who she is. Cruella also visits Artie, who agrees to help her on her mission to bring the Baroness down. Meanwhile, Horace and Jasper manage to steal the Baroness's Dalmatians. Cruella introduces Artie to the rest of the guys, and over the next week everybody works like crazy to make Cruella's appearance at the London Gala impressionable. However, Jasper doesn't appreciate Cruella's rude behavior towards him and Horace, especially since they've been like a family. It's the night of the gala and Cruella makes an unforgettable entrance on the back of a motorcycle, stunning everyone and angering the Baroness as the spotlight is taken from her once again. At another gala, she even makes an epic entrance from the back of a garbage truck. At another ball, she traps the Baroness in her car and eloquently stands on top of it, mocking her. After crashing many of the Baroness's galas along with Anita covering it, Cruella becomes the new talking point. In an attempt to regain the spotlight, Baroness orders Estella to make a new design for the upcoming spring collection presentation. Estella orders a special material and creates the stunning dress which the Baroness is impressed by. However, she even takes credit for that too. Estella gets Jasper and Horace to sneak into the Baroness's facility to make it appear as though Cruella attempted to break in, leading the Baroness to have her dress kept inside a maximum security vault. Back at the hideout, Cruella's entitled and arrogant behavior pushes the guys away more and more, who just want their sweet Estella back. The Baroness hosts the spring collection show, but when they open the vault, a swarm of insects fly out, having torn through all the dresses, as we come to discover that the material which Cruella made the dress from were actually cocoons. Outside, Jasper and Horace along with Artie put on a real show. Artie performs "I Want to Be Your Dog" and Cruella comes out with a dress made of Dalmatian fur, making the Baroness believe that Cruella killed her dogs. When Estella returns to the hideout, she finds Jasper and Horace tied up with the Baroness along with her henchmen, having deduced that Cruella is Estella. Baroness orders her henchmen to tie Estella to the chair, while Estella tells her that she knows she killed her mother. However, the Baroness asks which one she's talking about, heavily implying that she's killed many others before. After remembering who Estella is talking about, she reveals her plan to frame Horace and Jasper for killing Cruella in a fire. The Baroness leaves Estella along with Buddy and Wink to burn. However, a mysterious figure appears when the place burns down. Word spreads that Cruella is dead as Estella wakes up to find herself in John's house, along with Buddy and Wink. John brings Estella the necklace and informs her that it's been bleached, and that it also contains a key to a special box. Inside the box is Estella's birth certificate. John then reveals that the Baroness is actually Estella's biological mother. However, the Baroness didn't want a child as she thought being a mom would take a toll on her success, so she ordered John to have the baby killed after she was born. However, John saw Catherine, the sweet maid, and gave Estella away to her instead. In disbelief, Estella runs away and steals a motorcycle. She rides back to Regent's Park where she talks as if Catherine was there. While in shock about what she'd just learned, everything began making sense to why she is the way she is, so Estella now decides to fully embrace her identity as Cruella. Cruella steals a truck and drives it straight through the front of the police station, letting Wink inside to deliver a key to Jasper and Horace. Although she successfully breaks them out, they're still mad at Estella for how she's been treating them. But after she tells them about the Baroness being her real mother, they agree to go back with her to John's home, where Cruella says to Jasper and Horace that she is sorry and that they are her real family and all she's got left. After heartwarming reunion, they come up with a final plan to bring down the Baroness once and for all. Cruella goes to Artie again for help, to which he is happy to do. Horace also retrieves the Baroness's DeVille car and Estella likes the sound of the name. The Baroness hosts the final ball where everyone in attendance honors Cruella by wearing black and white wigs, much to the Baroness's surprise. Estella pokes the Baroness with a pin, distracting her long enough to steal her dog whistle, which she uses to bring the Dalmatians to the cliffside. Jasper, Horace, Artie and John begin gathering people to start heading outside as Estella has the Dalmatians obey her. She then reveals to the Baroness that she is in fact her daughter. However, the Baroness doesn't seem too surprised, stating that it makes sense why she is so talented, because she is her seed. Baroness asks if she can just give her a hug, to which Estella says okay, but instead the Baroness pushes Estella over the edge, which is witnessed by everyone. After setting the Baroness up to reveal what a cruel, heartless and criminal individual she is, everybody starts to hate her and the police even arrest her. We then discover that Estella was prepared for this to happen, as she was actually wearing a parachute. Through the narration, Estella reveals that she knew the Baroness would try to kill her, which now leaves her with all of her mother's fortune. Cruella holds a funeral for Estella and takes Jasper, Horace, Wink, and Buddy back to the estate together with John and Artie as part of the team, along with the Baroness's Dalmatians, which are now hers. Cruella tells everybody that she has big plans in store for the future. She also leaves a Dalmatian puppy at Roger's and Anita's home, which brings the movie to an end. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and also subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on, so you never miss out on a future upload. And I will see you all in the next video. For now, take care.